Peace be upon you guys. With you Farouk. Welcome to a new video. We will complete with some of the second part of the explanation series to skip the iCloud accounts from iPhone devices using paid on the servers. In the first part, which is the video that we have explained all the stages and steps of operations to overcome the accounts. What is the beginning of the iPhone XS, XS Max, and XR devices to the extent of the iPhone 15 devices, and the iPhone 16 for what is later supported on the services. And this video is very important and it will help you in your work, and it is better that you stop this video and you will see it first and you will see this video again because most of the operations are connected to each other. This is to understand the stages and the sequence of operations, which you will use and do most of the time, and you are working in skipping services. The program read to us some iPhone information, including the iOS version, which is iOS 18 version. And who alerted her to her as a friend of Mohammed Salem, his friend, one of the students of the online course for the professional software of the mobile, which we present on the Udemy platform. And they are all the links of the course, the curriculum of the study, and introductory videos of the course in describing the video under the youth who want to enter the field of software. They learned it from scratch to some extent. They delivered the stage advanced in the field in the event that they do not have any prior experience on the field of software for the mobile, so you can enter the course and see the free lectures in it and see the sequence of parts and lectures. I really came back to the videos, the program here on the channel. I found the information, not a minute, and listen to that, I am saying, and from it we will press next and then the program. We will turn us on the update file window, and here it will show us the latest iOS version available for the iPhone connected to the computer, and this happens in an automated way and without entering it. Well, we will return to our topic. I want to think that, during the two parts, we are talking about overcoming the accounts of any Dawood from the iPhone devices. And we have a relationship now with the RAM disk operations, and the accounts of the disciple are locked in the codebase, because these operations will need separate videos. In order to understand the eligibility of the work, it is good, and this video will be long. It will teach you the most important basics in overcoming iCloud accounts, and because, as usual, I will divide the topic for you for points and successive stages, and I will try to separate at every stage of them so that you can understand it well and prove in your brain. And you will swear to you, this video is on YouTube, so if you need to see only a specific part of the explanation and the first stage. It is the stage of receiving the iPhone from the customer, determining its condition, knowing its information, and it is in its second stage. It is a stage of work that is a rapid formation for iPhone on the examination sites, so that we can see the state of protection, and we define the appropriate tool for the skipping process in the third stage, which is the stage of downloading our skipping tools. And the work of the iPhone in different ways in the fourth stage, which is the stage of knowing the case of the iPhone support on the skipping tool, means that it will be with the operation of the network and calls or without network calls in the fifth stage. It is the stage of lifting the iPhone and its registration on the different skipping tools in the sixth stage, which is a working stage that is planned to calculate the tool, which we have registered with the serial. These are the basic stages that you will always need in skipping operations for all iPhone devices, starting from the iPhone 5S and the iPhone 10, and let us start at the first stage, which is receiving the device from the customer and determining its condition. And reading his information and the info about him, O Pasha, as we said in the video that you have missed in the beginning. Nor your generation is on it, but a code is a symbol or closed decibel, because if your generation is standing on the account request screen, then you will complete the rest of the explanation. As for if your generation is locked in a code or decibel address, you can work on the tools of the software, such as enroll tool or IT Pro, for example, through the RAM disk operations, and God willing, we will explain the operations in a separate video in order to understand it well, but we are currently focusing on skipping operations for the devices that stood on the account request screen. Okay, so that we will have identified the case of the iPhone with us, so we remained reading its information and the info with its own. We will connect it to the USB cable with a computer, and of course before it, you must make sure that the definitions are installed on your device, and the definitions are fixed automatically with the iTunes program, and you can also install it from the Surio Tools program. And we will go now. We will occupy the Surio Tools program, so that he can get to know the iPhone who is with us, and we are reading its information, and it is in its knowledge. He read to us the numbers of the serial and also the cell's model and its sales and the area, which is America, and this is the most important information that we need to know about the iPhone now, and we can implement the same process on any tool we have to support Apple devices. EFT Pro, for example, we will occupy the dongle program, and we will describe a value before it. And we will choose the normal situation, and we connect the iPhone to the cable, and we go down, and we click on the custodian so that the program is to know the iPhone and read to us its most important information. And if the iPhone had a code or a traffic code, you can read its information on the donation, but through the status of the recovery, and it will appear to you with the most important information. Okay, we have set the case of the iPhone that is with us, and we also knew its most important information, so we ended the step in the second stage, and specifically the first stage of it. It is that we are insisting on the iPhone on the examination sites. And when we go to the site, we will work for the serial in the box that is before us, and then we will click on verification because of the site shows us the exam information and the one who doubts the uniforms of us. Here we decided the iPhone model, and most importantly, we have appeared to us the iCloud protection case, and what you see in the case of protection on means protection activated on the iPhone, and also tells us that the clean device is not lost. It is not an amount of it, or it is not there. And that is completely, and we will be on the iPhone, and we knew the state of protection, and we confirmed that it is activated. Look, teacher, if you have the iPhone, starting from the iPhone 6 to the iPhone 10, and I want to exceed the account of any of it. Before you work for him, you are planning the paid server, so try it for the first. Unlock Tool or EFT Pro because they support some of the devices of D devices, but most likely will be without operating the network and calls, and let us quickly try the process of exceeding the EFT Pro. This is before we are talking about the paid toll on the servers, so I will come up with the iPhone to the cable while it is in the normal situation, and we will go to the RAM disk lat on here. Any or S August, or I will see, because the process supports skipping, whether for devices or devices. And those who have versions starting from iOS 11 to the 16 versions, and let us try, see, go down, and press start, so that the bot process begins and shows us this selection box. And we will choose from him the first process here, which is to skip without changing the iPhone's driver, and then we will press OK so that he starts to implement the process, but note here the process stood up and this error appeared to us. Generation activation files field, because the program is able to generate activation files for iPhone, and if this error appears to you, you know at the time that you need to change the first iPhone serial, whether on any Pro or enroll tool, or any tool that supports changing the serial, and you will find the new serial number on the tool that you will work on. Next then I need the iPhone or the iPad that will change it. This is in the event that you will change the secrets or you will work for Wi-Fi for iPhone devices and iPad devices on the Windows system. Of course, the topic of changing the Syriacs has many details, and, God willing, we explain it in a separate video, but in an important need that you must know, which is that if you are a factor of skipping iPhone without a network on Tools software and change the serial device on it, and this is to accept with you skipping. The next period can support skipping without changing the saddle with the operation of the network or calls, and the process succeeds with us instead of what I failed as we have seen together. And the limit is what happens, so let us go back to our basic topic, which is to determine the paid tool that is supported by the iPhone that is with us, and of course, there are different tools on the servers that support the processes of devices, and we will get to know some of them. We take examples of it also a little during the stage that comes in the stage in which we can divide the technicians for two names. The first name of them is the one who has experience and work constantly in skipping operations. Also, the most important follower of the tools that supports the processes of devices, and thus the category of technicians will be able to easily determine the appropriate tool. It is suitable for the iPhone with them and the issuance of iOS that is on it in the second section, and they are the young artists who are not and who do not have sufficient experience in skipping operations. Thus, if you are a beginner and you do not have sufficient experience, then what is required of you is that you read the iPhone information in the ways that we explained at the beginning. Then you take the name of the model and the iOS OS on the iPhone, and the number M and the SN number, and communicate with us on the services of Microsoft from the links that I will give you the description under the description. And send us iPhone information, and we will tell you about the support tools for the iPhone who are with you, and we will tell you about the cost and the time to register the server on the tool server. You can also follow the iPhone information to any extent that you are dealing with it in online services, and with his consent is to tell you the tool that supported your device and will tell you the price of lifting the serial and the time estimated on the server. Okay, let us go to the stage after that, which is to download the tool that we will use in the process of skip. Look, teacher, if you think about the video that missed in the first part of this explanation, then we would have carried the tools and we were direct. For the limit of iPhone 10, we must initially work for her. Unlike the high devices that were in the video that we missed, which we would have appreciated, and we are using the account directly and without the brick generation. Consequently, we must start with the process of the GLIP for the iPhone, specifically the check-in or checker, because it has other ways and applications to make a roller, but most of them work in the event that the iPhone is a natural work and enters the presidential value. Unlike the Chi-Crane package, through which we can work on the iPhone of the iPhone, whether it is a natural work or WIF on the account request screen, and this is a boundary, not permanent. Meaning, if I worked a brick generation for iPhone with you, and then I locked power and opened it again. At that time, you need to repeat the process again, and of course you must be a specific iPhone information that is with you so that you can bear the appropriate jabron. The jailbreak for iPhone devices can work on Windows systems through different ways, and you will be described under the videos in sense of the ways to make the jailbreak for different iPhone models. It is also different for iOS versions to see them and take an idea about the jailbreak methods, because it has successive steps and you need to burn the jailbreak file on the flash so that then you can enter on the face of the Galler application and use it. You are also able to work on the gallery on the Mac OS systems and go to the official website, and I will give it to you in the description under it, and carry the latest version available on the site. For the jailbreak package, and after that you can use it and work for the iPhone gal. Okay, let us stay. We will take how fast asked for the way jailbreak works for the iPhone who is with us, and what we say is that the iPhone is the iPhone sex, and we also explain the two fastest ways for gallery break. The first way we can make the gallery break for this iPhone is through the WinRAR or WinRAR1N. And you will show you the package information, and it will also show you devices before an iOS version supported on the tool, and you will not be the official website link in the description under the way you browse it yourself. Also, they endured the latest version that is available from the package, and when you carry the package and occupy it, it will appear in front of you in this way. We will follow here more than a way or a protocol for the work of the gallery brick, and the best of them is a sheik of 8 or check-in, and let us now connect the iPhone to the cable, and it is in the normal position to appear with us in this way. And we will choose Galaprak Checker, and that the version of 12.4 has the latest version of the Galaprak until the date of this video upload. We go down and click on Next because the tool begin. And when the situation enters recovery, the screen shows us this, and we will walk with this instructions so that we can enter the iPhone with us the situation DFU. So we go down and press start here. And we will go to the iPhone and press the power and the permit with each other, and after the time of Sonia we will raise our hands from the power key, but we will cover us with the homing key to some extent. And the tool is recognized by it and starts the process of the gallery brick, and your thief is to some extent that the gallery brick is completed and the iPhone works to restart and opens and operates again. And some mistakes appeared to us during the operation. Which will we do then? Boss, teacher, in the case, this is the easy way to go to the work of the gallery brick, which is through the skipping tools itself. Because most of the tools of error or all that support the iPhone devices are integrated within it, an application dedicated to making the brick generation. And let us take an example of a quick clarification, as well as some tools. The first example of the iRemove tool is, and of course you will carry the latest version of the tool and prove it with you, and I will give you all the links to the tools that we will remember during our explanation in the topic that exists in the description under. And when you occupy the tool, it will appear before us in this way. You will show you a message on the iPhone, and you will click on Trust or Remark It, after which the tool is to know the iPhone and read its information and then show you the screen and you ask you to work gallery break. We will pass the iPhone connected to the cable while it is in the normal position, and we will press Next to start the tool to restart the iPhone for the position of the recovery, and when it enters the position of the recovery, it will turn you on the window this. Because the gallery break process begins on the tool in the same way that we explained from a little, so we will press start and enter the iPhone to put DFU as we say. Because the tool is recognized and the bot's process begin. You can repeat the process again on the tool in the same way to the extent that the bot and the guest break is done, and the message of the success of the process appears on the tool, and for me this was the fastest way to work gal break for the iPhone who was with us. Okay, let us take a second example of the gallery break method on the IB-based tool, that Pro Primimora tool. So we could carry the tool, turn it on, and connect the iPhone with the cable, so that the tool is read and recognized, as you see it, and notice the message under the red color, asking us to work gal break for the iPhone. So we will press the Enter Recovery mod from here, because the iPhone usually runs and enters the position of the recovery, and when it enters the position of the recovery, we will press the device pod. In order to show us the usual gal break application screen in time, the steps of the gallery break will start on the tool, as we have seen and explained in the ways that have been missed, but unfortunately this method is what we do not like me on the iPhone who was with us in the explanation. In the same ways that we explained, this is able to implement the gallery break process through the various skipping tools, whether dedicated to the systems of Mac or dedicated to Windows systems. And who will meet her air, integrated and intended applications for gallery break, as we saw us. Okay, so that we will be our work on the iPhone with more than the way to leave us. So, after we worked the brick generation for iPhone, and all of you will come back again to the skipping tool. The first example of the iRemove Tools tool is the time we will run the tool and we connect the iPhone to the cable and it is in the normal position so that the tool is recognized and read its information, and then you start examining the support state through the tool server. And then the message appears to us, and what I told you in the video that I have missed. But you will find the message a natural phenomenon in an understandable way, and you can read its content. Because if you come down here, you will find the summary that we need to know, because here he tells us that the device is a completely overcome the tool, but no signal means it will be skipping for the account, but without operating the network and calls. Consequently, you will have known the state of skipping on the tool, and this is before the service is required, or the arrogance is raised on the server. Or the new version, which is the Pro Max, so you have come after we worked. And time we will press active device so that the examination process begins and tells us the state of support on the tool and the time the message appeared to us and tells us that the device is supported and estimated for the time that raises the serial to record on the tool server. Under here, he will take the Cuban in an automatic way, so that if you follow it to anyone, it will be online that it raises it on the tool server and take your mind. In the first example, we said that the device is supported, but without operating the network, but in the second example we said only supported without any mention of the network condition. Therefore, you must take your mind from this topic before you raise any secret, because if he told you no signal, then you will know that you are a line without a network, but if you check on some of the tolls and you have written that it is supported, but there is no mention of the network status. Mostly in the case, this will be fully supported with the operation of the network, and you remain a dish that we explained during the 2 example countries on any other tool that you will work on, whether it is dedicated to the Windows or Mac symbol. Okay, so that we will be on the tool that we want to do over. And even what I told you in the video that the stage was particularly lost. And you will send it to the person who will raise it to you on the server and you will follow the process with him. As for if you are subscribed to services and charger servers on it, we will explain to you quickly as a way to request the service on the various services servers. Sour, oh Pasha, you will go to the server that you are working on and a charger on it. In order for you to show you all the services that support your device model, and you remain browsing all the services and seeing the appropriate service, for example, on the tools. The device is supported, but without operating the network, and if we download a little, we will find the iRemove tool, which is to support the device with a view, but without operating the network. If we also come down a little, then the SMD tool will be met with the support of skipping with the operation of the network and the tool, as we say it is working on the Mac system only, and this is the date of this video upload. Thus, he remained with the rest of the tools that are on the server that you are working on. The customer does not want to pay a lot of money because he says I will use it and I only need the network and calls in need. Thus, we will choose a tool that is support for skipping, but without operating the network because these services are cheaper than skipping services with the operation of the network, but in the event that the customer wants to work. It occupies the network. You can see a second tool like a SMD or El Promax tool, or any tool that is supportive at the time. Next, tools that are not currently supporting the network are possible with a ball, after or in the near future, support skipping while operating the network. Okay, we want to do skip without operating the network, so I will choose a tool. The service page appeared to us as you see this, and under here some details about the service will appear to us and the most important requirements that we will need. And when we take the iPhone driver, which is with us, and we can copy it easily, as we have seen, and go back to the service here and work to hold the serial in the box that is before us, and after that we will go down and we will press the place order so that we can implement the request on the server. After that, the process of registering the serial on the tool server and the time taken for the operations in general is not one, and it is always different. Currently, it is possible for 10 days, but in the A7 devices that we talk about in this video, most of its services are not a long time. It is possible for minutes or a few hours. And we will wait a little time to some extent that the message of the success of the serial registration process appears, so we will be the iPhone record on a server for the tool, and all of it is complete in the event that you work yourself. But if you are a student of the service from another person, the person who provides you with the service is successful. Okay, let us go to the last step with us, which is a workstage that overlooks the iPhone on the tool that we have registered with the serial. So we will run the tool, and we will connect the iPhone to the cable while standing on the account request screen. And if you appear to you a screen for the jailbreak, you will work for the iPhone again, and with the same steps that we explained before, and after the success of the jailbreak operation, you will return to the tool again and you will press a cushion so that the process of skipping begins. And you will take a little to the extent that the process ends for the end, and the message of the success of the operation appears on the tool, as you can see, and if we return to the iPhone, then it is a work of skipping the account and entered directly on the presidential list. And a plan for all the initial settings, such as choosing the language, the country, and other settings, and that we will be a successful plan for the iCloud account on the tool. With easy and successive steps, and your customer's release is able to use the iPhone with its comfort and opens the internet, and it is possible that it can carry some applications, but without operating the network and calls, and perfection if they lacked power. His work came back again. This is because he does not return to the account again, but it is estimated that it will happen through the ordinary Wi-Fi. If a customer came to you and made the iPhone skipped with him and handed him again, but at his moment he returned you again and the iPhone stands on the screen. And I locked and asked the iCloud account, as you will repeat the steps to overcome again on the tool, which you worked on to overcome the first time. Without what is deducted from you additional fees, and this is in the event that it is the same device and the same saddle, and then the device works normal, but he remained focused with me. You will be alerted to the customer and say that it does not work as a traffic code on the iPhone, he tries to work with it, so that he does not return. The one who closes again and stands on the screen of the start, and we will explain as to all the important stages and steps that you will always need while you are working in services that exceed any cloud for the devices of any 7 at the highest. Starting from the iPhone 5S and the limit iPhone 10, and I have been explained as usual, so that you can understand it well and prove in your brain, and the stage remains what you come to your goods because you need to try yourself. You practice your hand all that you learned during this video. Just like that, and of course, if you benefited from the explanation, you would not forget to support us, and you will subscribe to the channel and do the bell so that all the new videos will receive the first pile and see the good of the video that comes, God willing. Peace.